Sorry, you need to say it very well. The Northerners feed Nigeria. Use that word.
Okay, I want to ask.
Thank you very much.
His last statement that the Northerners feed Nigeria. Now, he has a point to say that Northern has food. That disagree with him say they feed Nigeria. Let's try this argument on the fact that the Northerners have food. We still import a lot of food to this country. Yes, we import food.
Importation is based on luxury. Importation is based on luxury.
We import mainly sauce.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of this food.
There's Dangote sauce there. Importation is based on luxury.
But most of the foods are being imported.
Yeah, most of the food we eat in Nigeria, they are being imported.
Imported from where?
Imported from outside the country.
Do you have fruit that is being imported?
My dear, it's everywhere.
It's where?
The ship coming to the country bring the food from the western world to Nigeria. Despite his argument that the Northerners feed the country.
If Nigeria disintegrates, can the North survive without the South? I have with me to discuss this topic today Mr. Austin Oyibode and Michael Danjuma. Is the North economically enslaved to the South, or their relationship is mutually beneficial? Mr. Austin.
I would not say it's mutually beneficial. The North is, to a great extent, as far as I am concerned, dependent on the South for its survival. That is to say, without the southern Nigeria, the North cannot make the progress it ought to make. You get me right? So what I'm now saying is that politically, education-wise, and in almost every aspect of life, the North survivor is dependent on the South. Yeah, because the funding for the Northern system is from the South. The resources, despite they have farms, but look at even them. They are Nigeris. Do you have children like that in the South? They have farm. They have farm, onion, tomatoes, just name those they have. But the level of poverty in the North is not so in the South. The level of education in the South is not there in the North. So what then can they compete with the Southerners for?
What then can they compete with the Southerners for? Let me hear from Mr. Danjuma. What then can they compete with the Southerners? Where is your stand?
Okay, so to start my statement, I will say that a man that is on the ground has no need to fear that he's going to fall. The northern state has a very huge landmark for commercial agriculture. They have the manpower and they have the soil that is very fertile. You can argue it anywhere that the northern state in this country has enough soil that is fertile enough to produce, if not 80% of the food that is being consumed in Nigeria.
So are you saying that the soil in the South
is only a man that eats that will bother that he wants to go to school, that will say he wants to drive a car? Because you cannot eat money, you cannot drink oil, you need food.
Yeah.
So when a system is designed this way, you understand that for you to even go to war, you need food. So whatever you want to do, everything still boils down to what? Food.
Okay, so you are saying that the Northerners provide food. I want to ask Mr.
Sorry, you need to say it very well. Okay. The Northerners feed Nigeria. Use that word.
Okay, I want to ask.
Thank you very much.
From what do you agree with what you say? Does that imply that the Southerners cannot survive? They cannot feed without the Northerners.
Look, he said
they are lazy to farm
or something. His last statement that the Northerners feed Nigeria. Now, he has a point to say that Northern has food, but disagree with him saying they feed Nigeria. Despite this argument on the fact that the northerners have food, we still import a lot of food to this country. Yes, we import food.
Importation is based on luxury.
How?
Importation is based on luxury.
The still
We import many sauce.
That's what I'm saying.
We import a lot of this food.
There's Dangote sauce there. Importation is based on luxury.
They feed the country, but they are still the poverty capital in Nigeria. Eh? If you have food, why should you still be poor? No, that food they not to eat. If you have food to eat and to sell, abi?
Yes.
And you are still the poor, you are poor. Your children are poverty ridden. But you have food enough to eat and to sell to other part of the country. Okay? Then if you have food, you should be able to establish organization, establish company, because from the proceeds of your food you sell to another part of the state, of the country, you should have money to take care of your people.
The North, will they struggle to cope when the Southerners finally remove their hand from their network, from its network? Will they struggle to cope, or they can adapt? Do you think it's possible for them to survive on their own without the South?
Now, if eventually, peradventure, there is a disintegration, let's assume, then North go your way, South go your way. I must be frank with you. One thing, the North will never agree that the South should go, because they know very well that the biggest source of resources in this nation.
And what is the
from the Niger Delta.
That's what I'm saying. What is the resources?
Yeah, the royal finance that they will not allow you to go.
This is 2025.
Yes.
And you are still chasing oil. You are still priding on oil in 2025.
It is a not even we pride on it.
No.
Northerners.
This is 2025.
Yes.
And you are still priding on oil.
Yes. I'm proud of it because I said that even the northern elite, biggest men in the north, they have oil wells in the Niger Delta.
That is what I'm saying.
I don't want to call those names now. Those are not for this matter. A lot of the bigger men in the north, big elites, senior military men, they have oil wells, retired, they have oil wells in the Niger Delta. But the Niger Deltans, a lot of them, many of them don't have the oil wells, but those ones there. So if it happens that the north and south, they will not allow, because they know, if it happens, all their resources in the north, in south here is gone.
Maybe it will be a loss, maybe it will be a gain. We don't know. So this is where we'll be drawing the curtain on today's episode. Let's hear what you have to say on this topic.